Hello guys, welcome. Today I would want to show you how you could use this template. So immediately you get this template, first of all, you input if this is a proposed or it's already an ongoing one. If it's a proposed, you just and then we click here and proposed mini estate, and let's assume the project manager name is Robert and his surname is Jefferson. Okay, so over here you just edit the name of project. The name of project is let's say Jordan Estate. So immediately you're done with this, you're done with all of this. That is the welcome page, and then we go to the project scope, and you input some of these key things here. So your project name is Jordan Estate. You right click when it's not trying to edit, you right click and then you go back to it, and you can now input Jordan Estate. It's a residential project undertaken by your company name. So you input your company name. Let's assume that the company name is Hakeem, and the location is let's say in Abuja, Nigeria. Abuja, Nigeria. So you are going to input this, you just have to edit it so that it's going to fit the narrative of your project. So for this, let's assume we're constructing 10 blocks of one-story building, 10 blocks of one-story building, one-story buildings for residential use. And you could, if you're not doing this, we could just take this off. Let's just take this off, and you can delete. So the projection of the number of years, I'm going to talk about that later when we get into the program of work. I'll dive into that and explain how you are supposed to allocate the days for your project. So let's assume you intend to do this in just a year, right? In 1 year. So all you're doing is a residential building, uh, one-story building, of one-story residential building. So for this, we can just take this off totally, edit, can backspace, and we're done. For this, you will insert your image if you want to. So in order for you to insert the image, you click here, you find where you kept your image. Okay. So I kept my image on desktop. Okay, so all right, so this is my image. of the project. I take this and let's say I delete this. I'm just trying to customize. All we're doing is we're just trying to customize this and that. You just customize it. Okay. All right. So now we're done with the project scope. We go straight to project objectives. Project scope, there is something we didn't do. We didn't include this. So Jordan Estate. Remember, if you type and it doesn't work, you right click and go back there and type Jordan Estate. So now we go to the project objective in the location. The location is Abuja. Right click, Abuja, Nigeria, consisting of 10 blocks of one-story building. So for this, we could just take away this shopping mall. We're just trying to customize it. So if yours is not a green building, you could just, change all of this. But, there is this evolution towards green building, as it has been seen as the auspicious strategy for alleviating CO2 emissions. So if you're a professional, I advise you that you begin to tell your clients the essence of constructing green buildings. All right. Now we're changing the name here. We're going to change the name to Jordan Estates. Okay. Yeah, and then we come to the tax and responsibility matrix. From over here, click. We change this to Jordan. Remember, right click, Jordan Estates. So contractor 1 will be responsible for the 10 blocks of one-story building. Let's assume the contractor is Phoenix. Let's assume Phoenix agency, and we don't have shopping mall. We take it off. Landscaping services, if you do. Finishes, scaffolding, external, and we can decide to take away this road if you're not constructing it, or you could leave it. So that depending on the project. So for this, I am assuming a lot of things so that you could use this initiative to just fill in the blanks, and before you know, you are done. And also, when you look at this tax and responsibility matrix, if yours doesn't go this way, you could decide to change it. But this is according to the RIBA practices. All right. So I think we can just let it be like this, but you could just change all of this. You should change some of this information, landscaping. You put those people that are responsible for it. All right. So now let's briefly go down into the program of work. Now we know we're doing one-story building. We're doing M&E. All of these things have been itemized. So now we are going, you click on this, and then you go directly to the program of work. So we already know what we don't want for this. So we know we don't want this second floor. because it's just a story building, and then when we go here, we just delete. Delete. All right. So now we could also delete the supermarket. Okay, just delete the supermarket. Delete everything that pertains it. Deleting. Just a moment. Yeah. Delete the supermarket and yes. So so now immediately you're done with this, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to, go to the start date. We will change this to Jordan Estate. Jordan Estate. And also we go to the start date and we are going to fix today. And I'm going to fix this for just a year. Though it's going to affect everything, but you must have to be concise. So let's say this is going to be for 1 year. That should be in April. Okay. So you'll see, if you see red here, there's a lot of issues. There's an issue, but I believe immediately we're done with this, you will see that the issues will no longer be there. So in order for you to see the issue, sometimes you have to go to the tax to this inspect. You click on it and you see. Why it is like this is because the number of the days that have been already allocated. So let me explain to you how you can, how to determine the days for your schedule. So we'll be looking at how you determine the numbers of days. Determining the numbers of days for each schedule in a construction project, such as a simple mini estate, involves careful planning and coordination. We're going to look at the guide on how to approach this. So first of all, you have to create a project schedule, which has been done by the template. Already has that, which is you have to begin by creating a comprehensive project schedule outlining all the tasks and activities required to complete the construction of the mini estate. This schedule should include all phases of the project, from site preparation to final inspection, which has been done already there. And then the next on our list, you have to identify tasks and duration, which means you have to break down the construction project into individual tasks and activity. This could include site clearing, foundation work, framing, roofing, electrical, plumbing, interior finishing, and landscaping. And also you have to determine the sequence of activities. You have to determine the sequence in which tasks and activities needs to be completed. Some tasks may be dependent on others and must be completed in a specific order to avoid delays or rework. This have actually been solved by the template. And now the next is estimate duration. Estimate the duration required to complete each task or activity. This can be based on historical data, industry standards, or input from experienced professionals. And you also have to consider the resource availability, which is you take into account the availability of resources such as labor, material, and equipment when estimating duration. For example, if there is a shortage of skilled labor in a particular trade, it may affect the duration of related tasks. And also, you have to sometimes you need to allocate contingency time, which is you will build the contingency time into the schedule to account for unforeseen delays or issues that may arise during construction. A common practice is to allocate a certain percentage of the total project duration as a contingency time. So sorry it's not on my slide, but I felt I needed to talk about it. So we have the adjust as needed, which is you have to be prepared to adjust the schedule as needed to accommodate changes in scope, resource availability, or other factors that may have impact on the project timeline. And also you have communication and coordination. You have to ensure clear communication and coordination among all project stakeholders, including the construction team, subcontractors, supplier, the regulatory agencies. This helps to minimize delays and keep the project on track. All right. And I think with this, you will be able to have insight on how to determine the numbers of days for your project. This project, we're going to assume that everything here, we already have machines, or we have much labor that are going to carry out all of this work. So for that, we're going to crash some of this duration. We have to crash the duration. So now let's just begin as soon as possible. First of all, we already know that it's going to end on the 4th. You come over here and you double click for this for core, and it's going to end. You click on the start here. It's going to start today, and it will end on the 4th, on the 7th, right, on Monday. All right, so you click on it. Okay, so now this is where we begin. You click, let's say this is today, is going to start today. And so what we're going to do, let's crash this down to 5 days. We're crashing it down to 5 days because we are going to have we're going to have machines which could actually be done in a day. It could be done in a day. When we have machines, it could be done in a day. So let's just allocate 2 days for this. And for topsoil excavation, let's assume some amount of days. So we're assuming that we are coming at this work with a lot of manpower. So since we might be using an excavator, but for this we might not be using the excavator, depending. Everything relies on what you have down there. So if we're using excavator, 2 days, and so basically this is exactly what you have to do when you're allocating the days. And I'm going to forward this a bit. So you might be having issues changing anything here. So for you to change it, you have to go back here and take it back to 0. All right, that's when you could change this. If not, this will not even change from the first place. So to change this. Okay. So all you just need to do is to ensure you change all of this so that it's going to suit your own kind of okay. So we come down here also. We take it down. This is actually a milestone. But as we can see, it's supposed to finish after 7 to 1. All right. And also we change this. You're just going to, once you're doing this, it has already been set in such a way that you don't need to stress yourself so much. So I'm going to apologize for this because of the sake of the video. I wouldn't want to make it long. So immediately I'm done with this. All I need to do is to come over here and click on this. These two. That's already auto. And you work on the cost. So briefly, I'm just going to tell you how you can do this. So in order for you to do this, let's say we've already given contractor 1 every works on the 10-story buildings. That's contractor one, Phoenix Agency, remember? So when we do that, the first thing we need to do for us to allocate the cost, we go to our Gantt charts and we calculate all of this. We plus all of this. And when we plus all of this, if they intend to work like this, they are going to work for 6 days. They don't work on Sundays. They work for 6 days. And on Sundays is just a free day. So for that, you're just going to multiply. You have to figure out how many hours. So normally it's going to be 8 hours. So you multiply the number of days times the hours. That's contractor one is going to handle. So you go through everyone, you calculate this, and when you calculate it, you multiply it by 8, and you divide it by the money allocated for this building. Let's say you've already given, let's say the money on the contract sum was about, let's say for the 10 building, for the 10 story, for the 10 block of story building, it's about, let's say 300 million. Yeah, let's just say 400, let's say 300 million. And with that money, you're going to divide these days from that money. Multiply the total sum of these days times the hours, divide by the number you're going to pay contractor one to handle the 10 blocks of story buildings. Same also are you going to do for all electrical works. For all electrical works in the entire estate, you ensure the cost of it, everything is allocated to, you count the days for the mechanical, you count the days for the mechanical and the electrical, and then you divide it with the amounts, and then you set it over there, and it's going to align properly. So why this is not showing, why this is still on its red, it's because I still haven't arranged all of this yet. It's just for me to show you how you could easily use this thing as soon as possible. So we'll have to go down there and change a lot of things because this doesn't suit this schedule currently. The program of work is still saying it's going to end in 2 years, but I will have to crash down everything. So immediately I'm able to crash down everything, you're going to see the red thing is going to go off. Okay? So we're just going to go through so that we explain this term properly. I'm going to reduce everything to the barest minimum. But whenever you forget the rules, then this is what you have to do. So you don't really have much problem to do with this angle here. It's already been done for you. But don't just do it the way I'm doing it. You have to, understand what you're doing before you crash the days like this. Sometimes they use the critical path method, but it's on a different level. That is not for this class. Here. Sometimes these days over here is wrong sometimes. But with the look of things, I feel it is accurate. Seven plus 5, 12, 12 plus 7. Yeah, it's almost there. And then we come here too. Whenever you forget, first you need to do is highlight this, take it back. You see it's already aligned with that. And show. Yeah. So for this, we're just going to be fast about this. Let me put 5 for all of them. All right. So now let's look at this now. We want to solve this issue. Let's check where it's ended. So the completion date will be and that's 2025 April 7. So as you can see, the red thing you are seeing here is totally out, right? So for that, now what we are going to do is to do exactly what I said. We're going to let's assume that the first contractor was given, well, let's say 100 million. Let's say 100 million. So what you're going to do for that amount, we're just assuming 100 million. We're going to, let's get the days first. So contractor 1, we're about to plus everything here, which is 2, 5, 2, 3, plus 5, plus 2, plus 4, plus 9, plus 5, plus 10, plus 7, plus 8, plus 6, plus 5. Then we take out 5 because 5 is for mechanical and electrical. 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 9 plus 1 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 7. And the next is plus 6 plus 2 plus 6. Five, 7. Okay, I'm going to trace back 8, 9, 5, 7, 6, 2, 6. Yeah. We keep at it. We're going to the first floor. first floor plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 sometimes this could be confusing. Plus 4 plus 4 plus plus 3 and plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. So, okay, I made some little errors. So, we have 214 days for contractor 1. We can just look for a place and write the 214. So now for the resource, in order for you to arrange this properly, for the resource, I'm going to show you how this was done, how resources were allocated. So let me briefly explain how these figures came about, though we're not going to use the overtime rate here. We're not going to use it for this project, so we're just going to focus on the standard rate, but you can actually put your overtime rate here. All right, so now let me briefly explain what happened here. So as you can see, contractor 1 Phoenix Agency was given $1 billion for 10 block of 1-story building. And then you see MEC and Elect were given about 700 million. These are just assumptions. Road contractor were given 5 billion for all roads in the estate. Landscape services was given this amount. And all of this were the amount. So the first thing you need to do first is that you have to, because the Microsoft project has, it most times get paid per hour. Okay? So the 1 billion, you're going to convert this 1 billion into cost per hour. The 1 billion into cost per hour. So because 1 billion is for the entire duration. So now for us to get the figure for how much will they pay them per hour, you will have to plus the days that you are seeing on the Microsoft project tax portion that you must have allocated. So when you plus them, you are going to get this figures, you're going to get your own figures, and then you multiply it by the amount of hours they are going to work per day so that you get the cost per hour. So what you're seeing here is the cost per hour. And now, back to this, you will now see while we have 618 and all of those figures you're seeing there, those are how we got them, and then you input them. And never you forget that when you are done with this, the first thing you need to click on your project first, and you come over here, you clear your baseline, and then you set a new baseline. So when you do that, you click on here. When you do that, it means you're good to go, right? So we have been able to schedule this work for just a year. So with this, we've come to the end of this video. As you can see, you have a customized template that portrays the project scope, the project objectives, the tasks and responsibility matrix, the program of work, and then you are now left. It's now time for you to track the project immediately it begins. Okay, so let's look into this, and so for you to ensure that your cost is correct, you check over here to ensure that there is no cost variance here. As you can see, you have 0.00. You see, these are the baseline costs, and this is the cost here. So as time goes on, you will go through all of these reports and check all of these reports for the costs. You check the cash flow. Okay, check the cash flow. So if you want to understand some of these terms, you get our course where we explain the actual cost of work performed, which is the ACWP, and budgeted cost of work performed. Okay, so you will get the cost.